Hi everyone, welcome back to Hobbies and More. I'm Sudeshna and today I'm talking about maximizing light for your indoor plants. Whether your apartment is filled with sunlight or on the darker side, I have got tips to help your plants thrive. Let's dive in. First, let's understand the light needs of your plants. Most indoor plants prefer bright indirect light. This means placing them near a window where they can get plenty of light without direct sun exposure, which can scorch their leaves. It's important to note that light conditions will vary depending on time of year and where you are located in the world. Don't be afraid to reposition plants when they need. Now let's understand plants lighting requirement terminology. First is direct sunlight. This light enters through an unobstructed window throughout most of the day. This is what it sounds like 100% sunlight. Remember that direct sunlight is not always bad. Morning sunlight is less harsh than afternoon sun. I like having my fiddle leaf fig in my southeast facing window because it receives a wonderful morning sun but does not get the harsh afternoon sun. Now, second is bright indirect light. This means this is direct sunlight which is filtered or diffused either through a translucent blind or a sheer curtain. Think of this light as being outside on a cloudy day. There is still light, but it's not harsh. Basically, every plant will thrive in this light. If you can't remember what kind of light your plant needs, opt for bright and indirect. Now, third in the list is medium light. That means middle between low light and bright light. This light is when your plant is exposed to light that isn't coming from a direct source. So, light that comes through the leaves of another plant or even light that reflected off a building or a mirror. Now, last in the list is the low light. This is the lowest amount of light a plant can have before it decides it's not happy. Most of the time, plants are placed in low light can survive here. You can see faster growth if placed in medium light. Plants like zizi and snake plant can survive in this light. An east or west facing window is often perfect because they provide bright light without the harsh midday sun. North facing windows offer softer indirect light suitable for lower light plants like snake plant, ZZ plants. South facing windows get the most intense light, which is great for sun loving plants like succulents, cacti, flowering plants, but you might need to diffuse the light with a sheer curtain. As I told you, south facing windows receive the most light and are the hottest. Bright indirect light to direct sunlight in the afternoon. This window receives several hours of direct sunlight with the rays moving around the room as it sets. This is perfect for light loving plants like flowering plants, succulents, cacti. North facing windows receive the least light and are the weakest and coolest. I keep of my low light plants near this window. This north side I have very less number of opening. East facing windows normally receive light in the morning and are weak and cool. This window will have direct sunlight in the morning only. This light would be good for a pothos or philodendron. I have a big stretch of balcony in the eastern side. West facing windows receive light in the afternoon and are strong and hot. Medium bright and indirect light. This window will have direct sunlight in the evening only. The evening sun is usually stronger and hotter in western windows. Though in my apartment I don't have anything open in the western side. I have only three sides open in my apartment. Now, what does it mean? At the garden, we have a motto: right plant should be in right place. When determining where to grow our plants, this rule rings true to indoor plants as well. Now, I'm starting with the key attributes of south light. South lights are the brightest, most intense aspect of daylight, great for cacti, succulent and flowering plants, plants which needs shading in summer months. You will want to place them in your brightest, hottest windows, your south facing ones. Generally, plants that are heavy bloomers also like high light. Think of all those plants that demand high light. They will perform at the best in the south facing window. What are those plants? These are hibiscus, Krishna Kamal, Aparajita. Whatever flowering plants I have, I place them all in the south facing windows or in the south balcony. Also, if you enjoy growing things like cacti or succulent, at this bright position will direct lights at perfect spot that can really make your home feel the little bit more tropical. Saying that is important to understand the need to protect plants during the summer months from a potential damage, as this orientation is the most intense light of all. After south window, let's move to northern side. Now, key attributes of northern lights are: those lights are very softer and indirect light, particularly very weak in intensity during the winter months, best for low light tolerance houseplants. So anything that demands low light will perform best in the north facing window. Now moving to eastern side. Key attributes of eastern lights is an adaptable light that's best in the morning. Suits easygoing plants like pothos or ferns but might not bright enough for sun-loving varieties. Growth can be slower unless plants are closer to windows. Though I have a balcony, so my plants placed in the eastern sides are getting much more morning sunlight. East facing locations are brighter than northern rooms as they get the lovely light from the morning sun as it rises, and often a good choice for bedroom. If you are designing a space, they are generally considered a medium bright indirect light. Now moving to the western side. Key attributes of western light is plants might need a degree of protection in the summer if it's exposed location, and this is your typically bright indirect light setting with a degree of sun later in the day, which is less intense than you would find in the south facing location. Now, as I detailed above, west facing windows get a blend of sunlight like direct sunlight in a few hours of a day, generally late in the evening, while indirect sunlight in the morning and early afternoon. So the window doesn't get excess either direct or indirect sunlight. Just as east and north window plants are compatible, so too the west and south windows also compatible. If your apartment doesn't get much natural light, don't worry. Grow lights are a fantastic solution. LED grow lights are energy efficient and can be adjusted to provide the right spectrum of light in your plant's need. They are very easily available in Amazon. However, as a beginner gardener and house gardener, we normally do not use any grow light. Grow lights come in various types including fluorescent, LED, incandescent, but LED is often the best choice for indoor plants. They produce little heat and are energy efficient and can be set on a timer to mimic the natural day-night cycle. Position this light above your plants and adjust as needed to avoid burning the leaves. Though I haven't used any grow light, but sometimes I use normal light from a distance, and sometimes those works very well. Another tip is to use light reflectors. I have done a research on that. That is, mirror or reflective surface can help bounce light around the room, making the most of the natural light you have. place mirror opposite windows or behind your plants to increase light exposure. For those really low light areas, choose plants that thrive in low light conditions. Plants like snake plants, ZZ plants, and pothos are perfect for darker corner of your home. These plants are adapted to grow in shaded environment also and will do well even with minimal light. Rotating your plants regularly is another great way to ensure even growth. This ensures all sides of your plant get light and grow evenly. A good habit is to rotate your plants every time you water them, which might be week in every week or so depending on the plant. For those who have plants in the room without windows, such as bathrooms or basements, using artificial light is very essential. Position grow light to provide consistent light exposure. Lastly, consider seasonal changes. During winter months, the days are shorter and natural light is less intense. You might need to move your plants closer to your window or increase the duration of artificial light exposure to compensate the reduced daylight. Whatever, however, I am staying in Navi Mumbai. Here, winter is also not there actually, so I don't need to adjust my plants, but definitely I reposition them based on the light change. That's all for today's tips on maximizing light for your indoor plants. With these strategies, you can create ideal environment for your green fence to thrive, no matter the lighting condition in your apartment. Next week, I'll coming back with the same topic with the plant's name, and I'll show which plants you need to keep in the which windows. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated. And if you have any questions or specific topics you'd like us to cover, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next Monday with more indoor gardening tips. For now, bye.